Good evening, everyone.
Very good evening.
Thank you, and I hope you guys have a good time today. Thank you so much, sir, first of all. So, he's a man with an exemplary energy. He's a master craftsman who loves to surprise his audience with his boisterous energy as well as subtle nuances. A life journey that continues to inspire all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Boman Irani. So, Mr. Irani, congratulations for the award that you got yesterday for your outstanding contribution at the Bollywood Festival Norway. So, you've had an association with Norway in the past as well. Could you please tell us something about it?
It's very strange what you ask me. I think, chronologically, it jumps out of turn, but it'd be nice to talk about Norway first.
Yep.
So, as I started my career, you know that at the age of 18, I did something. Then at the age of 30, till the age of 32, I did something else, which we'll talk about, I think.
Sure.
And then I was very desperate to do something with which one required creativity.
Right.
So I'd saved some money, I bought a little camera, and I was trying to make it as a sports photographer. This is a little chronologically out of turn, but since we're talking about Norway, it's all right to jump the chronology. And I started doing sports photography because I love sports.
Right.
And I needed to make money because back in the day, photography was a rich man's hobby. And sports photography, there were no specialist sports photographers.
Right.
Very few. There was one sports magazine, and the newspapers would carry some event, and they would be paid, 100 rupees to get your picture printed. And I used to sell photographs of school events, sporting events in school. So I used to take pictures and sell them for 25 rupees a piece. And I used to make a little bit of money here and there. But that was not enough. I needed to know if I could make a living out of it. And the World Cup of Boxing came to India. So that was the biggest possible event. And I said, if I become the official photographer of the World Cup, then I have my foot at the door and I can make assert myself some way. And there was only one sponsored boxer. And that was from Norway. And his name was Ole Klemetsen. Some of you may have heard the name, Ole Klemetsen. He was the only sponsored boxer in the whole, so the great Cubans were there. And there were some Danish boxers and Dutch boxers and of course Indian boxers. And this Ole Klemetsen was the only sponsored. So I was told they needed 3 photographs for Ole Klemetsen's promotion here in Norway. This is way before websites and internet, just by the way. I look like young, but no, I'm not. Joke.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't have a joke now. Come on. Let me do the jokes. Those 3 pictures had to be sent here, so I took 3 pictures. Of one action picture, of one of him, standing over the boxer who he beat. And one was a picture of the flag of Norway and the flag of India, which he would hold up in the air. And I thought I had to courier it. So I was told, no, you can't courier it. You have to send it by a technology called radio photo. So radio photo is the great-great-grandson's great-grandson of internet. So I sent the pictures. It's very difficult because I didn't know the technology. It took 2 hours to scan one picture. I came home. My wife, where is Zinnovia? Was sitting right behind. Okay. She was sitting on the steps, and she came and said, "Did you send the pictures?" And I did not know how much to charge for the pictures. Okay. So they asked me, "So, Mr. Irani, how much will you charge?" "Mujhe malum nahi. I don't know. I've been charging 25 rupees. If I say 25 rupees, they'll say he's a third-class photographer." So I didn't say anything. So what I said was, international rates. How am I supposed to, when they call the international, जो American को देंगे तो वो मुझे ही देना. Why should I charge less than somebody else? Anyone the plan? My photographs are good enough to be in your magazine. then I'll charge you that. I went and asked another photographer from Times of India, his name was Sabby Fernandez, old man. I said, Sabby uncle, how much should I charge? So for what? I said, my photographs are going to be printed in a European newspaper. Oh wow, woman, I'm watching you. I'm so happy. Uncle, bolo paisa kitna, bolo na bolo. So he said, $60 a picture. I said, what? $60? I said, wow, $60. And if your pictures are really good and the magazine is really good, then you can charge $100 a picture. I said, wow, 60 into 3 is 180. And my maths is not very good, but I remember this. 100 into 3 is, my maths is not so bad, okay, 300. And I said, whatever, let's see what happens. And then I came home. Zenobia is sitting on the steps, waiting for me. I came on my little scooty, and the phone rang, and it was a long ring. The long ring in India means it's an overseas call. Picked up the phone, and the guy on the other line said, hello? Hello? Mr. Irani? I said, yes. My name is Trig Sandebo. Is that a name?
Yeah.
Trig Sandebo.
Sandberg.
Sandebo? Yeah. Okay. I'll learn it correctly now. So he said, the photographs? I said, yes. They have not arrived. So I said, okay. So I went back to VSNL. There was only one scanner in the whole city. Maybe the whole country, I don't know. There was only one. And they packed it and put it away, and they did not send those pictures. And I'm heartbroken because here I'm thinking of $180, you know, to start my little career. I went over there and he said, no, I said, no, you've made a commitment. You please make sure that those pictures go. He had packed up the scanner and put it away because he had to send it somewhere in the morning. And he had no friends to pack it in the morning, so the night duty guy just packed it and put it away. I fought with him and we sat the whole night, and like a washing machine it sounded, that scanner. And he scanned it, we sent the pictures. I came home at 7 o'clock in the morning, and Zenobia is sitting on the steps again. And she says, Zenobia talks with expressions most of the time. Especially when she's angry, but now maybe talk about that later. Joking, I'm joking. And she said, I said, I don't know. I did what I had to do. Okay? I come in the house, and as we enter once again, the phone rings again. I go inside and I pick up the phone. Hello? Mr. Irani? I said, yes, sir. My name is Trig Sandebo. I said, yes. Yes, Mr. Sandebo. The photographs? I said, yes, sir. They have arrived. Itna gussa kyun kar rahe yaar? I said, and they are fantastic.
Wow.
Something like that. And I was so happy and I was sweating away. And then he said, now the small matter of your payment.
Small.
I said, why small matter? It is the only matter, boss. Bolo, paisa. Paisa, bolo. And I said, I told them international rates. Okay. He put the phone on the side. Luckily, it was not a collect call. It took 10 minutes to come back. And he said, we liked your photograph. So I'm looking at Zenobia and I'm saying, how much you think? 180 or 300? 180. So he says, we like your photographs very much. So for 3 photographs, we give you $300. I said, okay. Yeah? And I started doing the Ramba Samba. And then he said, okay, go to the manager and collect your $900.
Per picture, 300.
Or picture.
This is Mr. Irani. Mr. Irani. You're not happy? I said, yeah, I'm very happy. Okay, and that's how the story goes. I got 3 times the amount that I thought, because they thought those pictures were not worth $300 for 3, but $300 each. And that's honesty for you. That's honesty. I learned that from Norway. 1 month later, I was outside of Mumbai doing an assignment, and I get a call from Zenobia and says, there's a check from Norway of $900. I said, no, we've already been paid. Please don't put it in the bank, it'll be all complication, with the Reserve Bank and all that. Don't do that. So I came to Boman and said, I want to see the check. So I opened the check and I saw the check, dollar sign. I opened the advice and I saw on the flip side of it, and it said, $900 for reusing your photographs.
Wow.
And they kept sending me $900 every time they used the photographs. And Faridoon, this is what I say. I said this to myself and I remind me of the story every day. That if this is the launch of my career that springboards me into, changing my regular job, my day job into this new job, then it's only because of someone else's ethics.
Yeah.
Somebody else's ethics. And I will follow those ethics till the day I die. And I made that decision then because nothing in the world can be more honest than sending a guy money who they've never met, but because they think it is right to do. And that was the Norwegian ethics that I learned, and that's my connection to tell you this very long story about my connection with Norway.
And that's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. So you were a waiter at a 5-star hotel. You managed your wafer shop for several years. You turned into a professional photographer in your early 30s. You dabbled in serious theatre in your late 30s and early 40s. And you finally did your first film at the age of 44. Before Munna Bhai MBBS happened, what did ambition mean to you? You've seen a lot of struggle. What did ambition mean to you before Munna Bhai MBBS?
Honestly, I really feel that ambition is the endeavor to be happy with what you're doing. Ambition is not to make lots of money. I don't know, money never attracted me. Survival, yes. And I'll tell you who tells you these things. Only people who have money will say money is not important. Yeah. Oh, money can't buy me love. But I'd rather have love in a Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? But money can't buy you love. And I say, but too much of money makes no sense to me. You're happy, you can travel the world, you can educate your kids. That's what we live for at the end of the day. You eventually think about your kids. All you want to do is seize their happiness. So I think, what was the ambition you said? The ambition is to do something that you really, really enjoy. And if you can enjoy it and make your hobby into your profession and make somebody else pay for your hobby, that's an ambition. That's an ambition to go for. So I get excited. If I am on a set, I get excited if I'm reading a page of a script. I get excited if I'm having this conversation. Whatever I do with a lot of excitement. If it's not exciting, honestly, for the love of God or for the love of money, I won't do it. Zenobia always tells me, why do you let she knows now. I'm not happy. I need to spend time with people who I like and love and respect.
Wow.
If there's no point, if I have no connection, Nasrullah, if I don't have connection with you, I would say I'm too tired and I will not hang out, because there's no point in making polite conversation with people I don't have love and respect for. It's as simple as that. If you do not have, and I tell you, your work will improve, your craft will improve, because you're cutting out all the irritants of your life. Work with people who you love and respect. I don't mind making a mediocre picture. I don't mind, as long as I'm happy with those people. It's my time, it's my life. So that's the ambition. The ambition is to find happiness in the work you do.
Fabulous, fabulous. Your father passed away when you were in your mother's womb.
That's right.
Did you feel a sense of vacuum because of a lack of father figure in your life?
Maybe father figure. I didn't miss the man. But later on, when young boys used to go and say, I did this with my dad, I did that with my dad, I said, what does that may have been a nice thing, going out, doing man things. That's all. My mother covered up for that, big time. She encouraged me in everything I wanted to be encouraged. She toughened me up in many ways, and I think that's all there is to take to believe that a person can just satisfy certain needs of yours, and she did. She was an amazing lady. At the age of 32, she was widowed. She had 3 little girls, and I was on the way, and she was losing me, and she was dying herself because of the trauma of the loss of my dad. She came out of it. She had to run a shop. We had a shop half the size of this maybe the size of this, the stage, and she was in debt because of my father's illness. She said, I'm paying for everything that people demand and say that this is the money that we owe. She paid for it because I don't want tomorrow when we start making money and you go to good schools and you go drive around in a car, I don't want people to turn around and say, hey, these people owe me money. She says, you tell me now and I'll pay you whatever money that you put on a sheet of paper, I'll pay it to you. She was an incredible woman. And so I did not really feel the absence of a father. And when it came to certain decisions, when she realized I was not academically strong. I had learning disabilities, I had speech defects, I was very shy, I must have had some anxieties, and you know, I found the sound of a man very intimidating because I had not grown up with a man. I'd only grown up with women, three sisters and four masis and 5 chachis and their cousins, and only women. So there was a new species called man that came into my life one day. Hey, what the hell who's this guy, you know? And I had a lot of anxieties, but she covered up for it. And she saw that I found solace in movies and in music. So she'd encourage me, go, March, don't worry about it. Who is that? She'd take my homework about the movies. It was amazing that she encouraged me to go and watch movies every day. So tell me about this. So it was a fun homework, but what did you learn from that? So what's the philosophy? So who was the negative person in the card? So she used to ask me these questions.
Wow.
Yeah? And so I didn't miss it. I'd be very honest. I'm not sounding like a hard person. But that's the truth. What you don't have, you don't miss.
So your mom has been, I think, a superwoman. I think all moms are superwomen, but your mom, the sort of struggle that she witnessed, and the fact that, if you talk about you, you had a speech defect, you had dyslexia,
Right.
you had a tough time in the school because you did not speak in your class till the sixth or seventh standard.
Right.
And she encouraged you to just go and watch movies in Alexandria Theatre in Mumbai. And she encouraged you to watch again and again the same movie.
Right.
And just come up with different versions and nuances. I think
Right.
that's fascinating. So your film school was your mom.
Film school was Alexander Cinema and my mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about it. And
So I used to go and watch movie almost every day.
what's her name, sir?
My mom's name is Jarbanu. She's a very royal lady. She's a very real royal lady. And she's like a queen. Yeah? You know what? Mother Irani, she's solid. And she would say, go do this and go do that. And I used to go and watch movies 30, 40 times. There was a film I used to go and watch over and over again. The name of the film was Funny Girl. I watch it even now on Netflix. Funny Girl. When I was a kid, I couldn't understand the movie. All I understood was the story of an actress and the life of a theatre person. And the opening shot of the film is that she walks into the theatre, the New Amsterdam Theatre in New York, which it's set in, and she doesn't enter from the main entrance, she goes in from the back door, the artist's entrance. I said, hey, that's what I want to do. Walk in from the artist's entrance. I knew what my goal was. This is what I want to do. Walk in from the artist's entrance, go onto the stage, go sit and soak in the lights, the sound, the floor, the wooden floor, and it made me feel good. You know where you belong. You know. And I was on movie 30 odd times, and the usher would see my ticket and say, you were here yesterday. This is at the Strand Cinema, of course. You were here yesterday. I said, yeah. Do you understand the movie? I said, no. I said, why you come every day? He said, I don't know, I love it. I love this movie. He said, what do you love? And then he said, sit down, don't buy a ticket, just sit down and watch it. There was something about the movie, about an artist that really grabbed me, that, you know, you can bring a smile on people's faces, and that artist was different. Today I realize it. But I was watching it again with Zenobia just before we came to Norway. And she was supposed to play the bride in this big show-stopping number of the Ziegfeld Follies. I don't know if you've heard of the Ziegfeld Follies. And she's saying, and Mr. Ziegfeld says, You will be the bride. Say, but I don't, look at me, I got a bad nose, I'm very ugly. Say, no, you will do as I say. Say, okay, so you want me to be the bride? I'll be the bride in the grand finale. Okay. So she goes in, and guess what she does? When she comes down the stage as a bride with a bouquet in her hand, she comes on with a big tummy as a pregnant woman. And everybody starts laughing, and they all congratulate Mr. Ziegfeld. What a twist! How fantastic! So you can't even sack her now. But she was being different. She was being who she was, funny. And I said, be different. Make people smile. If I'm telling you a serious story about my father, I don't want you to cry. I want you to smile at some point. I'm going to twist it some way or the other. I don't want you to touch the fire and burn yourself. I want you to enjoy this experience. And it's important to me that people smile every time we sit together, because what else do we have on this planet?
Beautiful.
All right, so Zenobia ji is here, and
Don't call her Zenobia ji. I'll have to say it for the rest of my life.
so yesterday you mentioned that you take permission for everything that you have to do, and that's why I think you're a happy man, happy married man.
I'm pulling your leg. Anyway, go ahead.
So, how important has she been in your life in terms of anchoring your life?
Okay, you're going to make me serious now. It's true. But again, I'll take credit for it. I'll tell you why. I think you're responsible for your choices. And I made a good choice for her being my moral compass. She is my moral compass. Sometimes when you're in the heat of things, I say, calm down, mister. She becomes the moral compass. But I take credit because I was the one who chose this wonderful lady.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't happen. Can I embarrass you a little bit? Oh, please, I love to embarrass you, Rani. Please allow me, say yes. Yeah, okay. So, this, yes, okay, go ahead. I'll tell you, there's a very innocent little, stupid little love story over here. Some young kids will never believe or agree. Today we are seeing a lot of kids, saying, oh, this doesn't work for me. We met at the wafer shop. I used to sell wafers. When I couldn't work at the Taj Hotel as a waiter anymore, we used to sell wafers. And I used to, so I had this very beautiful customer who used to come every day. Every day. Smile, smile, buy the wafers, go. The customer was Zenobia, since you're not, is it not following enough, right? So, every day, 6 months this goes on. And then one day I say, this girl is coming every day. Maybe she's not coming for the wafers. Maybe she's coming for me. And she was, and her dad also said, why do you buy wafers every day? So she says, no, I'm giving it to the beggar at the end of the road. So by the time we got married, we had a very fat beggar at the end of the road. And then we started talking on the phone. I gave her the wrong money back once. So she gave me, say, 2 rupees. I was supposed to give her 30 paisa, and I gave her some less or more. And that was my biggest rogue behavior. And she said, how much? Okay, one sec. How much you give? And we had this little scene. And then we exchanged numbers, and we spoke on the phone, and then went out for our first date. And I can say this with great stupidity and great honesty and great innocence. But by the time we sat in that restaurant, within the first 5 minutes, I said, will you marry me?
Wow.
And,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Or we get married. Yeah, or rather than that, I said, we're getting married, right? She said, yeah, we're getting married. And then suddenly she said, it's raining. It's raining. I said, no, it's not raining. Yeah, it's raining. I forgot to bring my umbrella. I said, no, it's not raining. She says, yeah, it was a sizzler restaurant. And the sound of the sizzler came. So she thought it's rain, and she's looking around. I said, okay, we won't even need a TV in marriage because there's enough entertainment around. There's enough entertainment, and it continues to this very day. So, apart from anything else, what is important is, I think when I take credit, it means that you attract the kind of people around you that you deserve. I think so. It's very true. You attract the right friends, you attract the right producers, directors, actors. And you may make mistakes once in a while, but by and large, the big ones, something in your heart tells you, this is good. And she's a great moral compass. You know, don't let this go to your head, okay? I know they're recording it and you'll keep playing this to me and this is what you said for the rest of my life. Anyway. But the truth is that there are times that, you know, when you're stressed about certain things, you can make rash, angry statements. And you need somebody to say, mister, shut up, sit down, calm down. And I think Zenobia does that for me.
Wow, wow. I think big round of applause for Zenobia and as well.
So much chadao yaar, sir pe, I have to answer that in the night.
All right. I believe there's a story behind how you convinced Mr. Rajkumar Hirani about your unforgettable look in Munna Bhai MBBS.
Okay.
You can please tell us about what really happened.
Can I go a little back
Sure.
about you know, I was doing theatre for many years, and I was getting paid 200 rupees, 500 rupees a night, but getting great houses and standing ovations, and I did a small film called Let's Talk, which is shot in 8 days on a handy cam, 17, 18 years ago, and when I say handy cam, I mean really you can't make a movie on that. You can make a movie on your iPhone, but you couldn't make a movie on that handy cam. We shot in 8 days. Come, please come. We need, yeah. Please come. Hi. You brought a little baby with you? Yeah. Oh, should I? Come. So nice. Answer it, don't worry. So we made this film called Let's Talk, okay? And I asked the director, we wrote the film, it took a year and a half to write and to rehearse and write and rewrite, and we went on doing this. It was an experimental film. So I said, I asked the director, when are we going to release the film? He said,
Ram Madhwani is the
Ram Madhwani.
He
So when are we going to release? Yeah, when are we going to release the film? He said, oh, I forgot to tell you, we were never going to release this film. Then why did we make this? For love, for ourselves, our friends. Shut up. And to ease the passage of time. मतलब मर गए मेरा film career इधर ही अटक गया खत्म हो गया but we had a premiere for the film in his house 12 of us saw it we gave it a standing ovation क्या बात है हमने reviews भी अच्छे दिए थे खुद we only wrote the reviews great we didn't need you man Farida that time it's such a sweet guy yeah so we gave our own reviews and then you know one gentleman saw a section of that film being edited in the edit room suite. And he said, the actor kaun hai? Bhejo mere paas. He calls me home, gives me dinner, and gives me a check of 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh rupees. I said, what's this for? For my next film. Meri ugly film ke liye. The picture ka naam kya hai? Mere paas ugly film hai hi nahi. No, this life is playing a very cruel joke on me. I'm trying to become an ugly film, hai nahi. See, then what's this for? He says, because if you decide to do a Hindi film, I will be the first person you will work for. I'm booking you now. And when you decide to do a Hindi film, you will not give me dates. You'll be flooded with work. So this is the check. I get first. I said, wow. I felt good about myself. But it disappeared for 8 months. And he calls and says, Yara, कहानी मिल गई कमाल की कहानी है I said picture का नाम बोलो uncle he said Munna Bhai MBBS and I said what a stupid name now this little Let's Talk film which we worked on for no money and for no audience if we didn't work hard enough on it I would never had gotten Munna Bhai MBBS and he said Munna Bhai MBBS I didn't like the name very much. He says, what's the story? He's saying, there's a gunda. A gunda means, oh, you know, you speak English, yeah. There's a gunda who wants to be a doctor. A gunda hai, wo doctor banna chahta hai. Matlab, mar gaye, ye kahani bhi bakwas hai. It sounds terrible, right? And I said, what's my role? Arey, tu doctor hai aur tu haste rahega. It sounds the worst film in the world. But I've got his 2 lakh rupees with me, you know. And he says, go and meet Raju. I said, who the hell is Raju now? He's my assistant. I said, no way, you're not making the film? That's Vidhu Vinod Chopra, by the way. He said, no, my assistant. I said, no, it can't be my debut, man. He sent me to Raju, and Raju narrated the story to me, and he was crying and laughing. I was crying, I was laughing. You know, he was on the floor, rolling on the floor, telling me the story with such passion. I'm saying, this man is telling me the most beautiful story. 3 days ago, I thought it was the worst story. Today, I'm thinking it's the best story I've heard. Because it was all about purity and heart and passion. And I said, you know, if this movie, 20% of it, if it reaches this stage, the screen, people will remember it for years to come. That also is part of my, what is the first question you asked me? What's your?
The entire experience of you convincing.
No, the first question.
Yeah.
The first question is, what's your motivation? No.
Ambition.
Ambition. My ambition is to have movies that don't make necessarily 300 crores, 400 crores. People should remember it and should touch them for years and years to come. That should be part of. And this movie, I said this will have that. And that was it. And then we started doing looks because Aishwarya was supposed to play my roles. We started putting light contact lenses to look like the father. And then Kajol was supposed to put brown colored contact lenses. Finally, Gracie Singh played the role. And everybody walked out of the film. Nobody was doing. Only I was there because I was paid, right? Yeah. And we were doing look after look after look. And then I said, no, Raju, now you go home. I will sit and do it. I went, I shaved my head off. You know, like funny girl. There's the same mad thinking. Do something different. I just shaved my head off because no look was working. I did the look, I dressed up, and I went and said, come. And I called Raju, and went and stood on the road. He came in his car, and I'm standing there in his parking spot. And he's looking. I said, yep. Side. He doesn't recognize me. And I step back, he parks his car, he comes out, sorry, mera gari ka parking. And he walks past me. And I'm saying, this is working. Because he hasn't recognized me. I look very different than, you know, there's a character over there. And I said, Raju! I said, if that's you, then that's Asthana. And he had got Asthana there and then. So that's the little story how the look of Asthana came about.
Great. So, Boman sir was instrumental with the look as well. Sir, what has been the role of writing in your career, especially the roles that have become really memorable? What has been the role of writing, making them so memorable?
I think we underestimate the power of writing. And if there's any youngster in this room who's interested in cinema, I think the first thing, even if you want to be an actor, I think it's important for you to learn the art of writing. And I realized this when, you know, writing is like music. It's like a song. You know the false notes. You know ye besur ja raha hai, besura ja raha hai, ye galat ja raha hai. You get a sense of it. You're already smiling, right? You see, he's a writer. Please stand up and introduce yourself to the audience. Not that they don't know you. I sense, you know, the thing is, I think as an actor, Lord above has given me a good sense of intuition to understand certain things, and I realize that this is not right, and I always like to contribute without interfering. Eventually, it's the director's vision, and I would rewrite certain scenes and say, how does this sound to you? And I think it's very important to contribute without interfering. Is there anything specific you want me to go in? Any story you would like me to go to?
So, for example, Well Done Abba, you told me a very interesting story about Well Done Abba. The character, how it was, and how you felt that, strongly felt.
Right. I'll tell you one before on Munna Bhai. So, I'm very enthusiastic, as you can see. And I went on a set, which was the JJ Hospital College, and with the unit. And I was not supposed to be there because it was for lighting. It was a lighting day. They wanted to go in checking out the lights. So I said, "Main bhi aa raha hu." He said, "Tu kyun aa raha hai?" I said, "Nahi, mujhe dekhna hai. I want to go in. I want to belong to the surrounding." It's very important to belong to the surrounding that you're acting in. This is a little bit of acting. I'm sure people will get a little bored with this, but bear with me. You having a good time, guys?
Yes.
You having a good time, darling? There you go. And So I went over there and they're doing either light aega, udhar light aega. You know the scene where I'm standing at the table? I think that's another one. In the opening of Munna Bhai, when I walk in and he says, "Kya wo form banna zaruri hai?" You remember that? So I'm standing over there. Can I stand up?
Yeah, sure.
The cameras will all go out of whack, no problem. So I'm standing over there, all right? And I walk around and I'm feeling the room. I'm feeling a power. I'm feeling like Dr. Asthana now, you know. And there was a big round table and there's this empty seats of the thing. And I start doing my monologue. I don't know it very well because there's 1 month more for shooting. Yeah? But I kind of know it. So and I start. Raju comes into the audience and sits down. And he's smiling. "Oh, nice, enthusiastic actor. You're very good, very good." And I suddenly start improvising. And I say, "Kya haath dekh rahe ho? 1000 operation kiye, rock steady. But if I operate on my own daughter, then my hands will start shaking." So what you got to do is understand. I forget the lines now, but it says that doctory mein dosti, lagav, pyar ki koi jagah nahi. Don't treat the patient, treat the disease. And I make a case, right? Raju is thrilled. This is superb. And he goes home and I said, "Yeah, I'm so happy with myself and my contributor." He calls up and says, No, this is not happening. This can't be. I said, "Why?" He says, "Because I believe you, the audience will believe you. Who's going to believe a gunda after that? I'm going to be in big trouble." So I got very upset. So he says, he called me back 2 days later and said, "You keep that monologue. I've recorded it. You keep that monologue. The higher the standard you set of the villain, the hero has to jump even higher. So the worse the villain, the greater the hero if he succeeds. Now it's my job as a writer," he said, "to make our hero jump over that thought. Your thought is great and everybody will buy that thought and everybody will agree with that thought. But my job now as a writer," he says, "is to make our hero overcome that thought, make it a better thought, bring humanity." So the angle of humanity, and Raju is a fabulous writer. So I just feel that you have to involve, not go read your lines and go home. And that for me is Beimani. You just don't say, "I came on time, I learnt my lines, I left on time, and I did every shot, karak, sorry." That's the definition of a professional. And I do not believe in being professional. I believe in being involved, in being someone that you put your name on the screen. It's yours. You own it. You cannot be a professional to own something. You have to be passionate and you have to give your everything to put it on that screen. Not professionalism alone. Sorry.
Talking about Mr. Rajkumar Hirani, so you told me that he always tells you each day that, "Boman, give me that one good deed of the day." You gave me the example of 3 Idiots.
Yeah, he always says, "Good deed karke, good deed karo, good deed." Good means something that out of the box, something magical.
One example of 3 Idiots if you can give.
3 Idiots is, the shots were not going well, and there was a shadi, Kareena Kapoor shadi, and she then runs away with the 2 boys from the mandap, and I'm standing over there, and it's not working, and then suddenly the guy with the
Popo.
Meow. I put my he fell down laughing. He said, "You did your good deed of the day." You gotta. That's what I'm saying. If you're alive and you want to contribute, you got to be. You just can't say, "I'm a professional. I did my lines." Not good enough. Not good enough.
When you have a director who allows you to add your own personal touch, many a times directors
Don't
they are
like.
very cagey. That
Right.
do whatever I tell you.
Right.
But when a director allows you to do your own thing,
Right.
How does it affect you as an artist, and how does it affect the final product?
He's like the wife you choose, right? Yeah. So if he knows and you know that this guy is interested in his film and not his ego, he will allow you, as long as your contributions are good. You can't make any contribution because it selfishly makes you look better as an actor. It's not about you looking good as an actor. You have to still contribute to service the story, and they will allow you. And you've got to do this months in advance. You can't go on the set and do this. Then they say, no, 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 because I'm very mentally prepared. You have to convince the director, and I throw 5 different things to the director. Choose one. Don't choose. As long as you're alive to the fact that this man is a collaborator with me. I have taken him because I can collaborate with him. And that's very important. It's like, so you choose people who you'd like to work with. That's what I meant. Who will respect your mind, and you have to respect their mind. Right. And some directors don't like it, and I say, okay, fine. We are just being professional. I don't like being professional. I go on time though, by the way.
All right, how crucial is it for you to grasp the body language and mannerism of a character? And if you can please give some examples, because there have been several of your characters that have had very typical body language virus, for example, Mona Bhai, for example. There have been several of them.
I think it's important, of course, but those are externals. The character has to work with or without those external body language tics. Because if you fill up a character with body language and speech patterns and accents, and that's imitation. I think every human being here, if I say I like Nawaz very much. Where are you, Nawaz, my friend? Put your hand up. Everybody, big round of applause for my buddy Nawaz. Yeah. I've known him now for long 3 days. But he's an interesting character.
Very interesting.
He's an interesting character. He's a great character. Now, my point is that if I imitate Nawaz and put him on the screen, he'll be very interesting to watch. But what I am interested in Nawaz, as I would be interested in every single human being in this room, is that each of you talk in a particular way, walk in a particular way, dress and eat in a particular way. But you think in a very, very specific way. So I'm more interested in the way Nawaz Saab thinks. I'm more interested in the way Nasrullah Bhai thinks how you think. If I sat and imitated you, I'll just have an imitation. I'm a mimicry artist. I'm not an actor. I have to get into your head and say, what's your worldview? What do you have to think about politics, or about things like patience? How patient are you? How kind are you? How violent can you get? How racist can one person be? If you know that mind, immediately the body and everything will fall into that space. So I think to understand the character of Three Idiots, if that guy spoke, everybody says, "Kya aapne wo list pakda?" नहीं, उससे वो तो बहुत easy है. उससे वो तो मैं नींद में कर पाऊंगा वो सोचता कैसा है, उसकी ईगो की लेवल क्या है, वो आप मेजर करके बोलो कि उनकी ईगो ऐसी है कि वो 32 years I have not found. Why have you not found for 32 years? Because your ego says, I am the best. That's what that line is saying. And if you understand that ego, if you understand his worldview, that I am the kind of person who will never say this creative thinking. College mein padhai, we have to become number 1 in the college. Yeah, that's his thinking. But the fact remains, because he was there, that then the externals came about. Unke kapde, unke baal, all stuck in time. Because he wants to be stuck in when he was a superstar in college as a number 1 student. And that's the glory he wants to bring back even as an educationist. So what is his thinking is important. Everything else becomes easy. I like the way Nawaz thinks. Of course, I like the way he speaks and everything. I love the way he thinks. His view. I don't know. But I like the way he thinks. I like his thought process. I like his worldview, and that's what you got to pick on. Otherwise, it becomes mimicry.
Sure. All right. When you do films like Shyam Benegal's Well Done Abba,
Yeah.
Debakar Banerjee's Khosla, or Raju Irani's Lage Raho Manna Bhai, where you played a Sardar character.
Right.
That wallet chahiye ke bullet hai. I mean, that's a fabulous dialogue.
Yeah.
You're going completely out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
How challenging do you find that, and does that excite you?
Very scary. And I like being scared. There's no point in going and saying, this I can do. Or it's done before. You don't do things that are done before. But it's scary. Khosla was very scary. It was before Lagero Munnabai. They released together. But it was before Lagero Munnabai. And I'm saying, how am I going to play this guy? I've never met a Khurana in my life. Never. I never played a character that lived outside of Mumbai. Never. I only played Mumbai-based characters. So in Delhi, so I'm going to Delhi, I'm seeing these guys, and I'm saying, it's scary. And I think it's good to be scared. If you're not scared, it's not worthwhile. The mountain should be higher. And I went and there was a guy who met me while I was preparing for Khosla. Have you seen the film?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite films. Huh? And I met a guy, he says, sir, नाइंसाफी हुई है. I said, मतलब? ये तो मेरा role था. I said, okay, we have problems here. I hope he doesn't hit me. ये मेरा role था. He said, मैंने क्या audition दिया था? I felt very sad. So he said, अगर कोई पारसी का character हो मुंबई में और मुझे मिले, how would you feel? I said, the man's got a point. You know, if a Parsi guy has to play the role, is that gin? What was that? Water? Okay, we'll accept water. So,
Water guy.
so he says, so I said, okay, how was your audition? He's saying, क्या audition था? कमाल का audition था. I said, मुझे सिखा दे बस. Whatever you did in audition, whatever your worldview is, whatever your thinking is, all the ticks, all the nuances, everything, just share it with me, buddy. Do me a favor. You can live the role through me. Please share with me. And I made him like my mentor on the role. I walked around with him and I was to go to the markets and, to see these guys, and we went and recorded so many of these estate agents and whatnot. Scary world, But that's challenging. And then when it happens, the joy is 10 times more. If the fear factor is 10 times more, the joy is also 10 times more, because that's the achievement. You play on your phone from morning to night on level 1, right, on whatever game you play. Once level 1 you can do with your eyes closed, is there any fun playing level 1 again? No. And that's when playing a role, you've got to be afraid. And when you do it, when Zenobia and the boys said, that's different. I mean, they know me, and when I'm playing out of my comfort zone and you see what I've done, and I know that I hit a mark. I think Khosla, I'd say it humbly that I think I hit some marks over there. Something unusual happened in that film and that character.
Talking about Well Done Abba, that is Shyam Benegal's film, that is one of my personal favorite films. I've told you this many times in many of our interviews. Now you're playing this Hyderabadi Muslim character.
Right.
I believe you learned a lot from the driver who drove you around in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Please tell us about it.
So they gave me a speech diction coach. Now he's going to teach me how to say the word correctly. That's it. So he's going to tell me, ऐसे बोलते. So I'm stuck thinking of how to say the line correctly. Again, how am I going to play the person's heart and the person's mind correctly if I'm going to concentrate so much on that? So there was my driver, Karim. And I said, Karim, आप घूमने जाएंगे? हाँ, बोला चला, okay. And we went, we used to have biryani, we used to go around, we used to chat. And it's so nice. Acting makes you meet people you would never meet otherwise. Right. You're stuck with your circle. You're stuck with that circle of friends. They talk about the same thing. I love my friends, by the way. But it allows you to step outside that circle, to say that they are human beings who are happy in their simple world and find so much joy in things that we take for granted. That's the biggest lesson I've learned as an actor. We take things for granted, We take things that, we deserve this. No, understand other people's lives. It's so beautiful to understand other people's lives. So Karim used to take me all around town in Hyderabad. I used to go early, didn't go back to Bombay only. Udari, Hyderabad. I stayed there with him, and we had a wonderful time together. I understood. He was also simple soul. My character is also simple soul. I think it's more important to capture the spirit of the human being than to carry just the way he speaks or moves. The spirit of the person. It's very important.
Now you have a fantastic sense of humor. you've played several characters with a comic touch. Many people feel that comedy is all about body language and playing it loud and gags. But comedy is serious business, and that business stems from the writing.
Right.
Tell us, how important is it to get good writing for getting that good comedy and on stage, and how to understand the people?
You won't believe what I'm saying right now, but I don't think sometimes comedy has got to do with a joke. It's not. Comedy, actually, people laugh most at the people who are in a tricky, bad situation. All the time. Somebody falls flat on his face. So he fell, he went, wow, tuck. People laugh at other people's misfortune. So basically, the good writing is to always put the character in a sticky situation. And I'm not saying slapstick, fall on your backside. I'm saying if the character is not in a bad corner, you'll not find it funny. And the guy's intention is very important. What does he want? And what's he not getting? Very important. What does he want? And what's he not getting? And the harder he tries to get something, the worse it is for him to get it. That makes for comedy, and that is what you're very rightly put, is good writing. You don't say joke to joke to joke. Sometimes I sit in the auditorium and I watch the film, and people are laughing at places I'd never thought were funny. But they're actually laughing at, sometimes not at you, they're laughing with you, and they're laughing because, poor chap. They sympathize also. You feel sorry for the character, but you laugh, bichara kahan pareshan ho raha hai. And that's good writing. I think good gags are also fine.
Yeah.
But the journey of the character creates the comedy.
Wow. All right, and you've started this initiative for writers.
Yeah.
Please tell us about it.
Okay, everybody said, you've got a good grasp on writing. Everybody said you've got a good grasp. I'm a little obsessive about certain things. You'll notice by now, putting plants in their places. No way, I'm not that crazy, okay? Everybody said you should direct a film. So I said, yeah, but it doesn't work like that. Just because you've done 100 movies doesn't give you the right to direct a film. You have to pay your dues. Just because I've written 100 poems doesn't mean I can be a novelist, right? So I made this mistake. I said, "Nahin, मैं बहुत scenes लिखा हूँ. I've written so many scenes. I've written so much contribution. I've written and given, but you've not written a whole movie." So I wrote a movie, and I said, "This is the best movie I will ever work in. It's too good." Zinobia, read it, Zinobia. I realized that it was good. There were good scenes. There were beautiful pearls, but there was no string to put it into the necklace.
Right.
You're going to make a lovely necklace. And I read it again. I said, this is the worst script that I have ever read. I understood that, which meant that I did not know how to write. So I started learning writing. I read every book that's possible. Even now there'll be a couple of books in my bag when I travel. And I went to New York and I met a writer. He was a playwright. And I sat with him, I was having coffee with him. And I told him my little story. He said, "It's a beautiful story. But you don't," he said, "there's no string for the pearls. They're beautiful pearls, but they're scattered all over the place. So you should write. You should just sharpen your writing skills." I said, "Done. Teach me." So I made him my mentor. And he said, "Look, I see when you stand on the road, the kids from NYU come and they take your autographs and they take your this thing. I don't care about all that, okay?" I said, "No, don't worry about it. When I will yell at you, I will yell at you." I said, "That's fine. I'm here to learn." You're going to understand, when you learn, you're a student again. And I started going to New York, and I'm going again tomorrow to New York, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I started going to New York 7 years ago to learn to be a writer. Only then can I be a good director. And 4 years down the line, this friend of mine calls me and said, "I'm making a tuxedo." I said, "For what?" He said, "I'm nominated for the Oscars." I said, "Wow, I had the right teacher." You attract the people you deserve. I truly believe that. Again, He won an Oscar, that guy. I'm meeting him tomorrow, day
What's
after.
his name?
His name is Alex Dinelaris. He wrote the film Birdman.
Wow.
Now, again, it's like a Zenobia thing at the wafer shop. You choose, you don't choose, it comes, it all comes together, you know. So I started writing, and I started writing one more draft, and I came back with a draft and I read it to Zenobia and she loved it. And then Alex said, you know, this is missing in it. So I started rewriting it and I rewrote it, and now she's fed up completely. But I do believe that I don't know what kind of movie I'll make. I don't know whether you'll like it, you'll not like it. Not that I don't care, but at least I tried the way it's meant to be done. The long way, the long haul, the educated way. And that's what I'd like to say to the youngsters who are sitting in the room, youngsters at heart and youngsters by age. And I launched a company called Irani Movie Tune. And Mr. Bachchan was very kind to come and inaugurate the company. And he came and he did the thing, and instead of throwing a party, Faridoon, I invited 280 young writers to the hotel to be part of the inauguration, because I do believe writing is the only way to go. Right. And I invited writers who have done 10 hit films to the one hit film, a one flop film, students, rookies, first year students from every institute in Mumbai and this thing, called people from outside. Whistling Woods, FTI, from Pune, from everywhere. Come, and I flew down Alex Dinelaris, and we had a 5.5-hour workshop. And I thought instead of throwing a party and, you know, people coming and saying it was a great party and everybody gets nice, what do you call them, photo ops, I said spend that money in something that's progressive for your industry. I said yesterday in my acceptance speech that the only way that you could serve yourself is to improve yourself every day, and by improving yourself, you'll improve the platform that made you who you are. That was what I said. And to me, and very, very importantly, I think the writers are going to be the heroes and the superstars of tomorrow.
Absolutely.
They have to be.
Absolutely.
They have to be.
All right, so you started your journey, movie journey at the age of 44. You've been a huge movie buff, as I think all of us who've been talking to you for the last 2 days have recognized. You know so much about Hindi films. Obviously, you know so much about Hollywood films. And all
You're
sorts
saying
of
this because I'm older than you, that's why, I know. Yeah, you're rubbing here.
You're younger than me, sir. You're much younger than me. So I'm sure that you must have had your share of heroes, movie heroes. When you get a call from someone like Devanand sir, how do you respond when you get a phone call?
I stood at attention. Hello? Hello? Boman? Yes, sir. This is Devanand speaking. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd like you to... Where have you been? Where have I been? Idhar hi Bombay mein hu. Say, where have you been all these years? Come and share a cup of tea with me. I said, great. That's great. And it was so amazing. It was so amazing. He called me to do a film of his. And no, I didn't discuss money. I didn't discuss nothing. I said, love to be part of that aura. And one day, I'm sitting on the set, and the assistants all come, and the assistants are all 20 years, you know, they're all in their 60s, okay, by the way, because he was 80 something then, and he's had those assistants for years, and he comes and he, sorry sir, every time you stand up you have to adjust the camera, I do apologize. So he comes in, the assistants come with a bouquet of flowers. I said, what's this for? He's saying, here's a bouquet of flowers. I said, what for? He says, we made a big mistake. I said, what? They threw me out of the film or what? He's saying, no. That day I was not shooting. And Dev Saab was very upset that they didn't inform me and call me by mistake. So I was shooting 4 days in a row, one gap, and then next 3 days, whatever. So they called me, they made a mistake, and Dev Saab was really, really angry with them. Do not waste people's time. Respect people's time. And he sent me flowers. I apologize on behalf of the entire unit, Devanand. Who does that? A man of his stature, who does that to a newcomer? I think we are slowly losing that little old world touch of grace and kindness. And I'm so lucky to have worked with people like that teach us that kind of thing. And Dev Saab taught me that. It was such a touching moment for me. Sorry.
Okay, and so you enjoy a tremendous goodwill within the industry. Everyone loves you. Everyone has wonderful things to say about you.
Are you listening, Zenobia?
All right, and you've worked with so many great people. You've worked with Mr. Yash Chopra,
Yes.
and he bestowed upon you amazing kindness as well.
Yeah.
Please tell us what really happened.
So I did a film with Yash Uncle. I stepped in for Mr. Om Puri. He had a slip disc and the set was erected and he had no idea. He called me in the night and says, Boman, aaja yaar, main problem mein hu. And I went that very night from another shoot and did the film. Many years later, I had to go to Switzerland for some work and my passport had just come in from another consulate just 2 days before and there was no way I would have gotten that visa. So Karan Johar called me for something and said, why are you sounding like that? I am very upset. I don't think I'll be able to fulfill a duty that I have been committed to. And it's upsetting me. So he says, call up Yash Uncle. I said, you crazy? Call up Yash Uncle? I said, no, for a visa? He said, I can't do that. He said, no, call him up. I said, I am not doing that. Guess what? Yash Uncle calls me. Karan tells him, Boman is in trouble. He needs a visa. Problem क्या है? भेजो, मैं करता हूँ, visa करके देता हूँ. I'm saying to myself, I can't believe this. This man of this stature is calling me up to get me a visa. कभी चाहिए visa? I said, I need it tomorrow. हो जाएगा? कल सुबह 9 बजे जाना. Sharp 9 o'clock. I said, okay sir. 9 o'clock. Be alert. Late मत जाना. Late मत जाना. I reached there at 9 o'clock and my phone rings. पहुँच गए? I said, yeah. पहुंच गए, अच्छा ऊपर जाओ. I go up there, guys waiting for me outside the Swiss consulate. They escort me up. They go there, tapak, buying my visa, and I come out in 10 minutes. मिल गया? I said, yeah. I'm stunned. Next time I won't do. I said, no, sir. You're going alone. I said, yeah, because you're not taking your wife. Next time take your wife. Then only I'll do. ये काम में काम all the time, काम. Honeymoon पे जाओ, यार. And I tell you this, you know, that's the epitome of humility and the epitome of using your office to help people, your good name to help people. And that's another lesson, like I learned about the Norwegian gentleman, the Norwegian culture, that you got to help people. This is your time. If you have in a position of certain power or knowledge or experience, share. He used his office to make, and followed it up. If I make a call to someone, I said, okay, now up to you, go ahead and do it. He calls up to check. Well, yeah, check. Kitne din ka tha? Bola, achha, theek. He doesn't need to do that. I think this is the greatest lesson for us. Use your good offices to help people.
Yeah. Yesterday you mentioned that your mom would have asked you that, did they give you love? Did they give you respect? Now, you're part of 83, that is Kabir Khan's 83, and you're playing Farooq Engineer. It's a small role apparently, but the way they splashed your entry in the movie, the sort of respect that they showed you, it was as if it's like a legend has joined, and Ranveer is excited, Kabir is excited. Does that overwhelm you?
Yeah, it does. I don't sometimes feel I don't deserve all that, you know. But I think they do it because they genuinely mean it.
Absolutely.
I think they do it because they genuinely mean it. It's all very genuine. And I feel sometimes I just say, this is my favorite line, I think I said to you. All up till now, I just thought I was doing my job, nothing else. Honestly. You're supposed to do your job and do your job well. But I'm overwhelmed with when people react that way. I'm overwhelmed with the love I received here in Norway. I feel sometimes it should not distract you from your drive and your future goals. Because you turn around and say, "Ye to acha hai. Relax, now it's time to retire. It's time to sit back, kick up your heels and have a nice glass of gin." Later. But that's the deal that I feel, that sometimes you must know how to deal with the love, how to deal with the accolades, how to deal with fame. Because love you can deal with because it softens you. Accolades is difficult because it excites your ego, accolades. But fame is like opium. It gives you a high and then destroys you. And I feel so dangerous. I'll tell you this, Ranveer is such a sweet guy, and you know, he wrote a beautiful thing on Instagram for me, and I feel, I don't know how to, I can't even say thank you. I met him at Yash Raj Films. He came up to me when he had just done his first film. I said, yeah, you're very good, and I said, give me some acting. I said, I don't think we have the time for that right now. All I can tell you is, people will come, people will go, but you'll have a longer innings, and you learn how to act for all your life if you just remain humble. If you remain humble, the opium will not hit you.
Wow.
Don't let the opium get the better of you. And he's so, look at the energy the boy has. He's going from strength to strength, and he's so hardworking. And I think he's enjoying. You have to enjoy the fame. Don't say don't enjoy. Enjoy the fame, but don't let it make you hallucinate that you're Emperor Nero. You'll burn all of Rome and burn yourself with it.
All right, so after this extremely wonderful discussion, it's time for a rapid fire. All of you guys have experience at how sharp Boman Irani son is, and he's got this tremendous sense of humor. So now's the time for that.
I hate all this.
All right, it's rapid fire with Boman Irani. A role of yours that you had never thought you could play it.
Khosla. I never thought I'd play it. You know what? There was one. I got rapid fire. में थोड़ा मैं बीच बोलता हूँ.
बिल्कुल.
So I'm wearing the clothes, and there was this lady over there who was part of the producers, some friends or something, and she was sitting and I'm changing the clothes and I'm wearing the shirts. Swarovski की shirt थी. Swarovski. The buttons were made of Swarovski buttons. Swarovski वाली shirt. तो मैं पहन रहा था Swarovski की shirt. और बोला, which idiot will wear a shirt like this? Hey, hello, these are my husband's shirt. It was that difficult.
Okay, if you could live with any of your filmy characters, whom would you choose?
None of them. First of all, they are all very irritating people. Half of them are crooks, half of them are irritating, and half of them are loud. And half of them are, you know, I think well done Abba, Arman Ali is a sweet chap, but too stupid. I don't know, I think the beautiful part about being an actor is you can be somebody else and still be yourself. Let them, please, I don't want to be any of them. Especially not Virus, especially not Asthana, definitely not Lucky Singh. I'm happy in my own skin, honestly. I don't want to be any of those guys.
All right. Who, according to you, are the top 3 best actors from the current generation?
Ranveer, and Vicky Kaushal.
Vicky Kaushal. What makes Raju Irani a different director from all the directors that you've worked with so far?
Because he's the most irritating person while directing you. He makes faces. So you know you have to up your game. He's not going to settle for anything less. He will not. You could be his best buddy in the world, but he will drive you crazy till he gets what he wants. And I say I respect that because he'll make faces. And I know that, you know, till he's happy, so you're not going home. So you got to really push yourself. And it's amazing how he knows. I'll tell you what he knows. He knows the audience.
Yeah, he does.
He knows exactly what will please them. He knows what will make them laugh. He knows what will make them cry. So if you don't hit those notes, besura lagta hai aapka kaam. Characterization, I do. But some of the notes on the बहुत subtle. नहीं यार, देखें तू करना. And he cajoles me into doing. He pushes me really hard.
Right.
Yeah. I feel
Even in terms of writing, I think there's only one guy that I know of who goes out at 3 o'clock in the night to just go for a walk. If he's not able to crack a scene, by the time he comes back at 5 o'clock in the morning, he has cracked the scene. So I don't know. It's
amazing, isn't it?
Amazing. It's
one day for Khosla, not sorry, for Lage Romana, I told him, ये कुछ problem है इस scene में. क्या problem? He take it very seriously.
That's how Raju sir does. He pulls his shirt.
I said, see, because if I say this means I'm wanting this, but if this is what is it means I'm wanting that. So the intention of the scene is going from there and then going there. It doesn't make sense. So I'm sitting on my bed, sleeping on my bed and talking to him. He's sitting on a chair right by my bed in my room. And then I go to sleep. And then 5 o'clock in the morning, Momsy, Raju, what are you doing here? I just cracked the scene, just see if you really look at it. Irritating guy, really.
Well, a genius. He is a genius. There's no doubt.
Hardworking. Genius to bahut log genius hai. Hardworking.
He would rather not do a film or a scene unless he is totally convinced. And that's why all the scenes are so memorable.
Right.
Which, according to you, was your most difficult role to date?
I think Three Idiots. Because I was so irritating again on the set, unhappy, that face. And my face used to hurt in the evening, and my face used to hurt. You can't make faces. See, the trick in playing a character is not to make faces. It's to be truly unhappy inside. And then it should show on your face. You can't wave. Then it looks like knuckle. It looks like imitation. And I said, come on, and I said, I'm going on a character. I said, okay, my face is paining, let me relax. But my heart used to be unhappy because I was an unhappy human being as a character. Really unhappy. And I couldn't enjoy myself, like everybody is having a great time. I would sit in the corner and I would be sulking there. I must tell you a very interesting little anecdote about Three Idiots. I used to lisp as a child, if it speak like that, like virus. When I was a child, when people used to laugh when I used to speak, I never spoke because it used to embarrass me. हंसते क्यों हैं मुझे देख के, you know? So it was because of the speech. And I said, one day I'm going to use this as a strength. And I put it in the character. And it became thankfully, one of the more popular characters. So when I won an award, one of the awards, and I was in the washroom actually. So I was in the washroom and we were facing the wall, as some men will know. And right next to me was Javed Saab. ये YouTube पे मत डालना भी चल Javed Saab. YouTube पे please.
Okay.
Put your phones away, guys. So Javed Saab said, "Oh, hello, Boman. Superb, आपने किया, superb."
He does.
He's talking to me like, superb. We are facing the wall and it's very awkward. We are facing the wall. Superb, what a wonderful character you have created. Superb. I just want to ask you one question. I said, yes. By any chance, did you imitate me? I didn't, by the way. But, so I said, no, sir. I don't think he was convinced. No, sir. No, you did not imitate me. I said, no, sir. Saying, okay. Maybe you may not have noticed. But even I have a lisp.
All right. A film of yours you had huge expectations from, but it did not do that well at the box office.
This was a film called, it was a good film. It missed the mark. Hota hai? I think that was Eklavya. I don't know if you've seen Eklavya.
With Vinod Chopra's film.
And I was playing this character, deep, dark, he was impotent and he may have had homosexual tendencies, I don't know. And I had gone into that whole, dark space and Mr. Bachchan and I was like, killing it. And every day after a take of a scene that I would do, everybody would clap on the set. Come on, I'm flying, man. Jackie Shroff, Mr. Bachchan. Oh, very good, huh? Very, very long take here. Very, Bachchan sir. I am thinking, man, I've arrived. Jackie Shroff, boss, Bro, yeah, gosh. So we would look at the monitor and see the scene again. My darling, oh, bro, so I'm looking at the monitor. Again, you would see the monitor. See the scene over and over again. He's saying, ek baar mera bhi dekh lena. He's telling me, look at me how he has done, Jackie Shroff. So I'm looking. Play it again. He's looking at my face. Kaisa tha? He said, मैंने नहीं देखा, मैंने अपने आप को ही देखा. I was so consumed with myself at that point in time कि मैं क्या acting कर रहा हूँ. And then what happened was, on premiere, my scene happened. Aishwarya is sitting, Mr. Bachchan is sitting next to me, they're looking at me after the scene. Oh, very good. I said, hey, don't pretend, okay, we know, don't, stop pretending. Mr. Bachchan was joking with me. And then I came on in the interval. And nobody said a word. Not a word. They didn't congratulate me. They didn't say it was good. They didn't say it was bad. They didn't mention it. No reviewer mentioned it good or bad. And I said to myself, from that day on, I was expecting something. That's why I'm disappointed. Stop expecting. Do your best and then go home. That taught me you have no control over this. You have no control. I said this yesterday in the acceptance speech. That you want to be a star, you can try, there's no guarantee. You want to be an actor, that you have control over.
Wow. So if you could ask a question to the following people, what would you ask them? Shah Rukh Khan, if you have to ask a question to Shah Rukh Khan.
What time will you wake up in the morning? Yeah, he's great fun. He's amazing fun. Because what time do you sleep and what time do you wake up? I kind of know, but it's fun to know that, you know, he's a night bird. He's an owl. Right. He's wonderful. He's just great to spend time with.
You traveled with him you did a tour with him for Happy New Year?
Oh, I've traveled a lot with Shah. Traveled all over America. We've done Dawn 1, Dawn 2, Main Hoona, you name it. Happy New Year, Veer Zara, I love them. And lots of shows. He's great to be around. Yeah. He's one energy that I really enjoy.
If you can ask a question to Amir Khan.
What question I can ask to Amir Khan? If you ask Amir Khan for a character what socks he's wearing and what shoelace he's wearing, I think he'll have an answer for that also. He has discussed everything to the minutest detail. He's a great guy for detail. So I can ask him. Socks, shoes kahan se laya?
If you can ask a question to Amitabh Bachchan.
Mr. Bachchan actually embarrasses us, I'm calling myself a youngster, what am I saying? He embarrasses youngsters with his energy.
Yeah, he does.
He jumps out of the chair when the AD comes, the assistant director, and says, they come from far with a clipboard. By the time he's seen that the shot is ready, he's gone like a spring and he's standing over there and he starts rehearsing. It's unbelievable, the man. That he doesn't even remove his jacket in the heat.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't remove his jacket. Don't waste time. Be in the zone. Be in the moment and rehearse. 27 times. One today, Bhutnath returns. 32 times we will do the rehearsal. 32 times.
My goodness.
32. And we rehearse 30. Very good rehearsal. I said, sir, it's only 30. Do baki hai. They karo.
Alright, how would you describe following people in one word? Akshay Kumar, if you would describe in one word. You've done several films with Akshay.
Renaissance man.
Yeah.
He's like old wine. He's getting, as he goes on, he's becoming better and better. He's like in a good wine. He's like a good wine.
Rajkumar Irani.
Irritating. No. He is. He's what? One word?
Yep.
2 words. I want.
Rajkumar Irani.
Yeah.
Wow.
He wants.
Yeah.
I want. No.
Shyam Benegal.
Tree of knowledge. He's a tree of knowledge. कुछ भी पूछो. this chair was made in the first design with the stitching in 1948. This stitching was called Amurak stitching. He'll know everything about everything in this room.
Yeah.
He's a tree of knowledge.
Classic guy. Dibakar Banerjee.
One word?
Director of Khosla Ghosla.
One word for Dibakar. Intellectual.
Intellectual. Sure. If you were asked to pick your 3 best films, which one would they be?
Khosla Ghosla. Lage Ro Munna Bhai. Well done, Abba.
Wow. A film or a role that had powerful impact on your mind. Any film. Necessarily not yours, but it
No,
had a
of course
powerful
not.
impact on your mind.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Have you seen it? It just stuck with me. I saw it 8 days ago again. And the reason why I saw it is it was part of my homework. I'm going to America, USA tomorrow to attend, not only to do my writing, but also attend another workshop on writing. So the homework that was given to me was to watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So it felt a great impact on me.
Which web show are you currently watching?
No, I don't. I'm not too hard on web shows.
All right. How would you describe your journey so far in a hashtag?
In a hashtag, I've only just begun.
Wow. Wow. What, according to you, is the most common myth about our industry amongst common people?
A lot of people think that it takes 3 hours to watch a movie, it takes 4 hours to make it. Little rest in between. I think there's so much of hard work, and when you watch a movie, they have bakwas picture, oh man, those guys didn't go out there trying to make a bad movie. They were trying to make a good movie. It's the most difficult thing in the world to organize. To organize this festival must be so difficult to coordinate every little thing. Imagine doing a crowd scene with thousands of people, with thousands of actors, egos, scripts, confusion, permissions. It's a very difficult process. We just knock it. We think it's our birthright to knock it, and you should. You're a paying customer. But it's the myth is that it's not so difficult. It's very difficult.
So, ye ya wo, either or, if you just pick one.
Right.
Munna Bhai or Circuit? Munna Bhai ya Circuit? Who's your more favorite?
Munna Bhai.
Munna Bhai.
Yeah.
Don 1 ya Don 2 your favorite?
One.
Don 1?
Yes, please.
Batuk Patel ya Virus?
Virus.
Virus. Ritesh Deshmukh ya Akshay Kumar? Who's more naughty on sets?
Akshay. Ritesh, dono, equal, the competition. Badmash, number 1 Ritesh. Very sweet, very sweet. Lovely, lovely person. Lovely person.
Munna Bhai 3 ya Don 3? Which film would you like to happen first?
Munna Bhai 3.
DJ Asthana, Dr. Asthana ya Lucky Singh?
Lucky Singh.
Alright, that's Lage Ro Munna Bhai. Political dramas ya biopics?
Biopics better.
Houseful 2 ya Houseful 3?
3.
Okay. Vardhan from Dawn ya Advocate Rajpal from Jolly LLB?
Rajpal, no doubt about it.
One of your, I think.
I think one of my favorite characters, yeah.
Indra Kumar ya Sajid Khan, better director?
Indra Kumar.
Farah Khan ya Rohit Shetty?
A difficult question, no.
Main Hoon Na ya Happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
Okay. South Indian ya Chinese, your favorite food?
South Indian, bhai.
Okay. Butter chicken ya chicken tandoori?
Butter chicken.
I'm asking all the foods that are good.
Yeah.
That are good to me.
Yeah.
All right. So it's time for a quiz, a short quiz before we end. About films of Boman sir and how much he knows them.
Oh.
It won't take much time, sir. It
Okay.
won't take much time. Music of Munna Bhai MBBS was given by whom?
Anu Malik.
In film Main Hoon Na, what was Shah Rukh Khan's love interest Sushmita Sen's name?
S पे से था. Hint दे दो.
I can give you.
Just the letter. Chandni, because of Yash Chopra.
Yeah, that's right.
The chiffon sari flies because of Chandni. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
knew it. SC एक ही होता है यार.
Kiran Kher played the role of your wife in Veer Zara. What was her name in the film?
Kiran auntie.
In the film.
फिर मैं किरण आंटी बोलता था किरण जी ना वेट तू कहाँ से
I can give you options?
नहीं ऑप्शन दे दो
Shabnam Hayat Khan, Nabul Hayat Khan, Maryam Hayat Khan, Tasneem Hayat Khan.
मरियम हयात खान
That's right.
yeah if I got it wrong she would Boman
Okay. Which of the following actresses was a part of all three Houseful films? Lara Datta, Jacqueline Fernandez, Asian ya Zareen Khan. She was part of all the three films.
hey, Lara Datta was one
Right.
no, and two maybe Jacqueline
Jacqueline Fernandez, that's right.
yeah
She had
because Jacqueline did a
Song.
special appearance in one
Right.
yes ऐसा नहीं
What was your name in the film Well Done Abba?
Arman Ali
Which one of the following actors was there in Dawn as well as Dawn 2? I'll give you options. Kareena Kapoor, Lara Datta, Arjun Rampal, Om Puri.
Ampuri
Om Puri Saab, that's correct. I think he knows his film very well. So that with that, we just bring this masterclass to an end. Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful having you with us. And thank you so much to all of you as well. Thank you very much.
Before we end, we like to invite Bhabiji on the stage.
रुको गिफ्ट आ रहे रुको यार
हमने अपनी मिसेस को
भाभी जी
नहीं आपकी भाभीजी नहीं आपकी वाइफ
अच्छा मेरी वाइफ है जिनोबिया जी आइए बुला रहे आपको Faridoon
Yes, sir.
okay ladies and gentlemen if you don't have your hands are free I'd like you to applaud when I say something there was this young man I met in many years ago and he continues to go from strength to strength in the work that he does by purely finding out people's lives and stories and not just depending on masala you know what I mean and for this event he came to my house spent 2.5 hours with me to find out not just what he could find on the net and on YouTube, but to find out personally a little more about myself so that this particular event would be successful. I'd like you to put your hands together for Faridoon Shahryar for the detailing in his work and that he loves the work that he does and it shows. Thank you, Faridoon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
भाभीजी प्लीज चले आप आए
Boss.
क्योंकि इनकी जिंदगी में कोई भी लाइन आपके बगैर पूरी नहीं होती तो इसलिए इस मोमेंट को मैं चाहता हूं कि आपके साथ शुरू करूं ये real wonderful to have you all of you here in Norway. We love you, sir. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you. I really do not know how to repay the love and the care. Thank you, all of you, all the gentlemen and ladies in the auditorium. I know I won't mention your names over and over again, but thank you for every small little thing you've done with so much love. Thank you.
So can you do a selfie with that?